Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing good. So now let's continue with our discussion on the adaptive immune responses. We're done with discussing the different lymphoid organs. So we have the primary and the secondary lymphoid organs. Okay, we also discussed lymphocytes, no, which are actually the key cells of the adaptive immune responses. Now let's continue with our discussion on the different surface markers of our lymphocytes. Now, if you can still remember our discussion on the different lymphoid organs, we learned that the different lymphocytes that we have, that is, no, our B cells and T cells, develop identifying characteristics as they travel through the primary lymphoid organs and eventually are released to the secondary lymphoid organs where they come in contact with antigens. So let us now discuss the different surface markers of our lymphocytes. Now, ano ni sila mga different surface markers naton? Now, these surface markers are actually proteins that appear on cell surfaces and used as markers to differentiate our T cells and our B cells. So, in other words, the different surface markers or the different identifying characteristics that our T cells and B cells acquire as they travel through the primary lymphoid organs are these different surface markers that we have. And these different surface markers will enable us to identify our T cells and our B cells, and at the same time, identify the different developmental stages of our T cells and our B cells. Now, these different surface markers naton are actually identified using monoclonal antibodies. Now, what are these monoclonal antibodies? Now, the term itself, I know, no, we discussed monoclonal antibodies previously. Now, the term itself, mono, means single clone. Okay? Monoclonal, single clone of antibodies. So, isa lang ka-particular type of antibody. Like, for example, immunoglobulin M. Okay, so isa lang siya, no, ka-immunoglobulin M na antibody. Or, like, for example, one surface marker of our T cell is our CD2 on its surface. So this CD2 will identify our T cells, no, or lymphocytes as T cells. So anong gamito natin to identify CD2? So we can make use of anti-CD2. So that is specific. One clone of antibody directed against CD2. Okay, so very specific, monoclonal antibodies. Here, guys, are the different surface markers of our lymphocytes. So you can find these different surface markers, syempre, no, sa surfaces of our lymphocytes. So tanan-tanan ni sila, nga mga projections are actually surface markers. No, iba ni siya, mga glycoproteins, which are also antigenic. Okay, so mga antigens or self-antigens of our lymphocytes. Okay? Now, what are monoclonal antibodies again? So, these are extremely specific antibodies because single clone lang sila directed against one particular type of our antigen. Now, the technique was developed by Kohler and Milstein in 1975 and involves, no, actually cloning a single antibody producing cell. So, anong ginahimo nila? Now, actually, in the development of monoclonal antibodies, we make use of myeloma cells. Ano ni myeloma cells? These are actually cancerous na plasma cells. If you can still remember our discussion, di ba, ang plasma cells are the ones that secrete antibodies. So, anong gamiton to produce these monoclonal antibodies? Myeloma cells, cancerous na plasma cells, if-use ni sila with a normal nga plasma cells. Okay, so if you sila nga duwa, resulting to hybrid nga cells we call hybridoma. So nga agin amo na. Okay, because we need the characteristic of the cancerous plasma cells nga nga nagasigi-sigi lang sila guys reproduce indefinitely. Di ba? Uninhibited ang ilang cell growth. That is why nagadagko sila, dasig sila magdagko, nagakancerous sila. Okay, so that's one characteristic that we need from the myeloma cells. So that is why infused sa normal nga plasma cell para because ang normal nga plasma cell ang magaproduce sang monoclonal antibody. Okay, so pag-fuse mo na sa ila, so the hybridoma cell is now capable of producing a particular type of antibody and can reproduce indefinitely. So, pwede mo lang siya subculture, guys. And that will give you enough, no? So, hasta san nga naga-reproduce siya, these cells will give you sufficient amount of monoclonal antibodies. So, we are going to discuss again the technique later, when we go to antibodies. Okay, so again, the different surface markers of our lymphocytes, which will identify them, are actually identified using monoclonal antibodies. Okay. Now, let's go to the different surface markers. So, paano ni siya, gin-identify ang different surface markers of our lymphocytes? Now, di ba, there are so many surface markers of our lymphocytes. Actually, at present, we have more than 350 of these surface markers of our lymphocytes. So, paano ni sila ginngalanan? Okay. Now, previously, each of the different laboratories that were able to identify the different surface markers that we have for our lymphocytes, not only of our lymphocytes, but of the other cells of the body, they gave actually their own name to each of the different surface markers. So in other words, okay, so sa tanan nga gina-identify nga mga surface markers, tanan nga mga laboratories naghatag sang ila their own nga name. Such that sa isa lang ka surface markers, for example, si CD1 lang, lain-lain ang iya ngalan. Depende kung sino ang nag-produce or sino ang nag-identify sang CD1. Okay, so kung pulo na sila ka laboratories, pulo man ang name ni CD1 nga lain-lain. Okay. To standardize the naming of these different surface markers, an international workshops on human leukocyte antigens. Okay guys, human leukocyte antigens. Leukocyte antigens. So these are antigens found on the surfaces of our leukocytes. So these are our surface markers. These are proteins. We call them also antigens, but they are self-antigens. Okay? So, these international workshops on human leukocyte antigens were conducted in 1982. And this came about because the exact nature of proteins identified by various antibodies was not known. So to standardize the names of membrane proteins found on all human white blood cells, thus the international workshop was conducted. So several workshops actually were conducted, and eventually these different surface markers naton were given the name CD. CD stands for clusters of differentiation. So that is why ang ngalan sang tanan ng mga surface markers on our leukocytes or lymphocytes, okay, madamo sang mga cells of the body, not only lymphocytes. So ang name na nila CD na, and they are numbered sequentially as they are discovered. So from CD1 to CD350. So now, as I said, we have more than 350 of these CDs now which were identified. Now, the last convention actually or workshop conducted on human leukocyte antigens was in 2004. Okay, so as I said, we have more than 350 CDs at present. So here guys, this is an example of a cell. Okay, this is a B cell. Why B cell? Because you have the presence of these antibodies on its surface. So later on, we will learn more of this. So these are the different CDs found on this particular type of cell. So damo-damo. So these CDs or surface markers will identify this particular nga B cell. Okay. So now let's go to the different developmental stages. Now let's discuss the developmental stages of our B cells. So we learned that our B cells, di ba, originate. So gin-produce sila from the pluripotent stem cell naton or hematopoietic stem cell found in the bone marrow, where these different stems, the lymphoid stem cells naton, actually dre siya nag-develop, differentiate, and mature, and eventually give rise to our B cells. No? Thus, they were given the name B cells because they mature from the bone marrow. And once mature, as I said, they seed peripheral organs of the body or our secondary lymphoid organs. So what are the different developmental stages of our B cells? So let's travel, guys, to the bone marrow. Okay, so let's focus our attention in the bone marrow where our B cells develop, differentiate, and mature. Okay? So what are the different developmental stages of our B cells? Now, the first recognizable lineage of our B cell is the pro-B cell stage. So this is derived from the lymphoid myeloid precursor that remains in the bone marrow for maturation. So this is part of the B cell antigen independent phase of development. So if you can still remember, the bone marrow is our site for antigen-independent lymphopoiesis. Okay, so again, our pro-B cell stage is the first recognizable cell in the B cell lineage. Now, the development of our pro-B cells is actually aided by these different transcription factors or growth factors. And what are these? So we have E2A, EBF, or the early B cell factor. We have the paired box protein 5 or our PAX. And of course, we have interferon regulatory factor or IFR8. So this was added by the fourth edition of Stevens. So we are making use of the third and the fourth edition at the same time. Now, aside from these transcription or growth factors, we also have a cytokine, no, responsible for the development or which actually aids in the development of our B cell. So specifically our pro B cell stage, and that is interleukin 7. So this is that cytokine which aid in the development of our pro B cell stage. Now, what are the distinctive markers of our pro-B cells? So these different markers or surface markers will identify our pro-B cell or our B cell as a pro-B cell. So we have CD19R, CD45R, we have our TDT or the terminal deoxyribonucleotide transferase. We also have the recombinase activating gene enzymes 1 and 2. We have CD43, CD24, and our c-KIT, or also known as CD117. So all these different surface markers can identify our B cell as a pro-B cell stage. Now, ano ang function of those different surface markers natin, particularly those two enzymes that I mentioned earlier? So here we have RAG or the recombinase activating gene enzymes 1 and 2. They are the ones that cleave the DNA at certain possible recombination sites. Okay. Ano ni siya ginatawag natin ng mga recombination nga ini? Okay. So guys, actually, what the most important event that occurs during the pro-B cell stage is actually the recombination of genes coding for the heavy and the light chains of our antibody molecules. Diba? If you can still remember, hambal ko kay ina, the B cells are the ones that secrete or produce our antibodies. So during the pro-B cell stage pa lang guys, gina-prepare na ni ang aton nga B cell nga ma-produce sang specific nga antibody. So during the pro-B cell stage, ang genes that code for the heavy and the light chains of our antibody molecule, rearrange na sila. So rearrangement is responsible for the production of a particular type of our antibody because we have different types of our antibody like IgM, IgG, IgA, IgD, IgE. Okay. So ano ang iya nga i-produce? So depende no sa rearrangement of genes naton. So ang rearrangement nag-occur during the probisal stage. So why the heavy and the light chains? Because our antibody molecule is actually composed of two heavy chains and two light chains. So later I will show you the structure of our antibody molecule. Okay? So si RAG1 and 2 nga enzymes, sila ni ang nag-cleave, no? Nag-cut sang DNA at certain possible recombination sites. So pag-cut nila, ma-recombine ang genes, and then the other enzyme that I mentioned also will be the one to splice these different genes, not together, coding now for a particular type of our antibody molecule. So I am talking of our TDT, the term the terminal deoxyribonucleotide transferase. So again, so terminal deoxyribonucleotide transferase. So this helps to join the pieces back together by incorporating additional nucleotides in the joining areas. So ang gin-rearrange, ang gin-cleave ni RAG1 and 2, kag gin-rearrange, splice back together naman ni TDT. Pagkatapos, we now have a complete gene that codes for a particular type of antibody molecule. So these are the two very important enzymes now during the pro-B-cell stage. Now, the rest of the surface markers like CD19, so CD19 acts as a co-receptor that helps to regulate B cell development and activation. CD45R, this is the largest form of CD45, which is a membrane glycoprotein. So it is actually a tyrosine-specific phosphatase that is also involved in signaling in B cell activation. So tanani sila involved in the activation and development of our B cells. Okay, so again, guys, this is the most important event that occurs during the pro-B cell stage, and that is the rearrangement of genes coding for the heavy and the light chains of our antibody molecule. So that's the pro-B cell stage. Next stage is the pre-B cell stage. Okay, ano naman yung pre-B cell stage? Now, we can say that this is now our pre-B cell stage when there is now synthesis, okay, of that part of our antibody molecule. So, i-synthesize na siya, di ba? Naka-identify na ta, we have that gene. So, i-synthesize na ang part of that antibody molecule, and that part is the heavy chains of our antibody molecule. So, ang heavy chains pa lang, guys. Okay, now usually, the first nga antibody molecule always to be synthesized nga heavy chain is that of the mu chains. Okay, mu chains. So this is the symbol. So we have mu chains. So when we can see now mu chains or the heavy chains. So this is the heavy chain, ha? So the mu chains of our antibody molecules, once present na ni sila in the cytoplasm and the cell surface of our cell, we can tell na that this is a pre-B cell stage. So we are now synthesizing part of our antibody molecule, and that is the heavy chains and of the mu chains. So ang mu chains nga ini actually is part or is the heavy chain of our antibody class we call IgM. So immunoglobulin M. Ig stands for immunoglobulin and M stands for mu. So that is why mu chains IgM. Okay? Now, this IgM during the mu chains no, or the heavy chains naton, during the pre-B cell stage, gina-attach ni siya to an unusual nga light chain. Hindi pa ni siya, guys, ang light chains no, of our antibody molecule. So this is a surrogate light chain nga gina-attach during the pre-B cell stage. Okay. And of course, aside from this, wala na, nagakadula ng iba naton nga mga surface markers. So no more CD43, no more c-KIT, and no more terminal deoxyribonucleotide transferase. So wala na si TDT. So these three are now missing no sa aton nga pre-B cell stage. So instead, we can now find mu chains both in the cytoplasm and surface of our cell, and these mu chains are coupled or naka-bind no or naka-affix na siya sa aton nga surrogate light chain. Okay. And these two heavy chains plus the surrogate light chain naton or surrogate light chains are now called our pre-B cell receptor. Okay, the pre-B cell receptor. Anong purpose of this pre-B cell receptor? So the previous B cell receptor nga ini will attach to the stromal cell membrane sang aton nga bone marrow. So the bone marrow stromal cells, dira sila ma-attach sa cell membrane, and then transmits a signal to prevent rearrangement of any other heavy chains genes. So meaning to say, si pre-B cell receptor ang mahambal sa stromal cells of the bone marrow to stop rearrangement of genes coding for the heavy chains of our antibody molecule because may naara na nga na-synthesize, and that is of the mu chains of our IgM class nga antibody. Okay, so meaning to say, oh, may functional na nga heavy chains, so don't rearrange anymore. Okay, so that's the purpose of our pre-B cell stage. So this pre-B cell nga stage are the only B cells that survive and proceed to further differentiation. So differentiation occurs for approximately 2 days, and then after that, this pre-B cell stage naton will develop into now our immature B cells. Now, during this particular stage, during the immature B cell stage, hindi na mu chains ang ara. So we now have a complete antibody molecule, and that is our IgM. So once there is now appearance of complete IgM molecule on the surface of our cell, then we now have our immature B cells. So mambal ka mo nga nagkumpleto na ni siya kay kaina heavy chains pa lang man to. Okay, and you only have a surrogate light chains. So guys, actually nga nagkumpleto na siya because during the synthesis of our heavy chains, ang heavy chains siya ginasynthesize na siya on chromosome 14. So pagka-synthesize ang heavy chains, nagasigi man to synthesis no sang two naton nga light chains or our light chains. So ginasynthesize naman ni siya. So kailain siya nga chromosome ginasynthesize. So these light chains naton are actually synthesized on either chromosome 2 or chromosome 22. So nga may or. Ang first nga naga-synthesize gid sang aton nga light chains actually are on chromosome 2. So those genes on chromosome 2. Once hindi siya makaproduce ang functional nga light chains, then that's the time nga ang chromosome 22 ang maproduce sang light chains. But usually, it's always chromosome 2. Okay? So now we have a complete IgM molecule. So duwa na ka heavy chains and 2 light chains. So makita na siya natin sa surface of our immature B cell. So the mu chains are no longer detectable in the cytoplasm, and our immature B cells have additional surface markers. We have CD21, CD40, and our MHC class 2 molecules. MHC again stands for Major Histocompatibility Complex Molecule class 2. Okay? So please take note of the surface markers of our immature B cells because this will identify our B cells as immature B cells. CD21 is also a very important receptor because this is used by a particular virus, our Epstein-Barr virus. Ginahimo yan nga receptor to infect our B cell, causing infectious mononucleosis. So amo ning iya nga Okay, receptor. Okay. So ginagamit man siya nga receptor sa aton nga virus, no? Ining si mga surface markers sa aton nga mga cells of the body. So you will learn more of this later as we go along with our discussion. Okay guys, so this is what I told you earlier, no? So, amo ni gina-discuss naton. So, here we have our immature B cell. And here, guys, this Y-shape nga ini, nga molecule on the surface of our immature B cell is our IgM. Ang duwa kadako nga Y, ini this one, are our two heavy chains. And ang two nga light chains is here, 1, 2. Okay, so we now have 2 heavy chains and 2 light chains. So amo na ang composition sang aton nga antibody molecule, and this is IgM on the surface of our immature B cell. Okay. Sige. Now, during this particular stage also, one very important event that what we need to take note of during the immature B cell stage is that during this stage of the development of our B cell, here, at this particular stage, some of our B cells actually bind na, no? Nagabind sang antigens. Okay, gabind na sila sang antigens because may antibody na sila sa surface, di ba? So ang antibody nga nga ara sa surface ang aton nga B cell serves as receptor for antigens. Once magbind na sang antigens sa aton nga antibody, that will activate our B cell. Okay, so ma-activate si B cell. So once ma-activate siya gani, nagaano siya? So naga-differentiate siya, become lymphoblast, tapos ma-produce siya memory cell, and ma-produce siya plasma cell. Plasma cell is the one that secretes now the antibody molecule against the antigen that stimulates our B cell or activates our B cell. Okay, so that's the process. So during this stage, ang aton B cell nagabind na sang antigen. But, okay, there is that selection process ongoing at this particular stage because some of our B cells nagabind sila ya self-antigens. So hindi pwede nga magbind sa self-antigens because this can lead to autoimmunity or production or to a condition we call autoimmune disease. So hindi pwede because we will be producing antibody against our self-antigen. So hindi pwede. So those cells or immature B cells that bind self-antigens are actually deleted. So ginapang destroy ni sila through the process we call apoptosis or programmed cell death. Okay, so gina-delete ni sila, no? Ginapang-destroy through apoptosis. And during this immature B cell stage, 90% gid of our B cells die without leaving the bone marrow. So meaning to say, after the immature B cells, 10% na lang ang naga-proceed into maturation. Okay? So next stage, we go to the mature B cells naton. Okay. How can we tell that we have now a mature B cell? Now we can tell that this is now our mature B cell when we also have another immunoglobulin on its surface. So this time we have an additional immunoglobulin and that is our IgD. Okay, so meaning to say, mature B cells now mature B cells now have actually immunoglobulin M and immunoglobulin D on their surface. Okay? Okay, after this, these mature B cells are then released from the bone marrow and they seed peripheral lymphoid organs. So unless these B cells come in contact with antigen, ang lifespan nila is only few days. Pero once ma-activate na sila or activated sila by antigens or stimulated by antigens, our B cells undergo transformation into blast, and then this will give rise to our B memory cells. And of course, we have our antibodies secreting plasma cells. So this time, as we all know, lymphopoiesis is antigen dependent. And now our mature B cells have a lifespan of greater than 6 weeks. Okay, so kung wala sila na-activate, few days lang, once activated, they can reach to more than 6 weeks ang ilang lifespan. Okay, now, we have here, under the mature B cell stage, guys, may ara nga variant, no? So, there is that particular variant of our B cells no wala siya yan, no? It's either may IgM siya, but with little or no IgD. Okay, so these are called our B1 cells. So, most of our mature B cells actually are our B2 cells. So, may variants lang siya or may variants lang kita nga may ara siya IgM but little or no IgD. Okay, so ano naman ni sila nga mga group of cells? So these B1 cells, guys, are capable of editing the gene coding for the variable regions of both the heavy and the light chains of our antibody molecules, giving them the ability to respond to more than one antigen. Okay, so remember nyo to ang Y-shape nga antibody molecule on the surface of our mature B cells. So we have both our IgM and IgD. So ang nagaway nga ina, ang duha ka puntas ng Y, we call this the two antigen binding sites of our antibody. Dira nagabind si antigen. Sa dira man mismo nga site, actually we call that sites also the variable regions, no, of both our heavy and light chains. So gina-edit na daang mga nucleotides, no? Ini sila nga B1 cells capable of editing the nucleotides in there sa variable region such that they can react to more than one type of antigen. And usually, this type of cells, naga-react sila or naga-respond sila to carbohydrate antigens rather than proteins. Okay? So, more sila on carbohydrate antigens than proteins. And these cells produce only one particular type of antibody, and that is of the IgM class. Amula na yung class ang ina-produce nila. Now, we can find these cells during fetal development or fetal life where in the peritoneal cavity of our fetus. Anong purpose nila? They are the major source for antibody production in the infant and young children or young child. So sa mga infant kag sa young child, amon sila ang nagahatag sang or are the ones responsible for producing antibodies. Okay, our B1 cells. So unique naman sila ya. Okay. Next stage of our B cell then is our activated B cell. Okay, so once maka-encounter na sila antigen, our mature B cells become activated and they develop CD25 on their surface. Now, CD25 is a receptor for interleukin-2, which is a growth factor produced by our T cell. So this is the reason why nga maka-differentiate sila into blast, no? Because ang nag-develop sila CD25 on their surface, i-bind sa interleukin-2, which is a growth factor. So that way, reproduce ang aton nga activated B cells. So when they become activated through contact by antigen, so naga-transform ni sila into blast and eventually, as I said, will give rise to our B memory cells and our plasma cells. So the blast can give rise to as many as 10 to the 4th cells in 3 to 4 days. So that much, no, ang pwede ma-produce nga cells of our activated B cells. And of course, the last stage of our B cell, the developmental stages, actually is our plasma cell. Okay. Now, plasma cells are large. They are spherical or ellipsoidal. 10 to 20 micrometers in size and characterized by the presence of abundant cytoplasmic immunoglobulins and little to no surface immunoglobulins. So damo sila immunoglobulins sa ilang cytoplasm. So nucleus is eccentric to oval with heavily clamped chromatin that stains darkly. We also have abundant endoplasmic reticulum and a clear, well-defined Golgi zone. Okay. So our plasma cells represent the most fully differentiated lymphocyte. The main function is, of course, antibody production. So these plasma cells are not usually found in the blood but in germinal centers. Diba? Kay dira ang lymphopoiesis nag-occur. So those B cells which are activated are found in the secondary follicle, and the germinal center is the center for lymphopoiesis. Dira ang mga blast nakit-ano kagangaton nga mga end products sa ngaton nga blast. So after production of antibody for several days, they die without further proliferation. So here guys, no, ang aton nga developmental stage. So we have again our mature B cell once activated can become blast, and we eventually will give rise to our plasma cell that secretes our antibody, and of course we have our B memory cell. And these are our plasma cells, no? Ang mga dagko nga ini guys, nga eccentric ang ilang nga nucleus, okay? Darkly stained ang ilang nga, okay? Chromatin, no? So because clamp ang chromatin, darkly staining, kay damo ang chromatin, and of course you have an eccentric nucleus, dagko, and you can find actually immunoglobulins diri sa ilang nga cytoplasm. Okay, so these are our plasma cells. Okay guys, that ends the developmental stages of our B cells. So I will stop here for the meantime so that it is much easier for us to upload, no? Kay gamay lang siya. Okay, so for several minutes only lang ang aton nga recording. So I will continue in few moments. Okay?